we're not talking about luxury stores. We're not talking about stores that we want. We're talking about stores that we need. And since this is a very large senior citizen population, to expect them to walk blocks is really not respectful of their needs and of their concerns. So one thing that I assure people is that since tonight we've established a further credibility gap, we're going to have every single relevant city agency, state agency, and federal agency block this project like a hawk.
And like anything else hospital.
And I want to close by saying, sir, with all due respect, I heard your comments before about Coney Island. I represent Coney Island. And let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with the people of the community of Coney Island. What is the problem has been poor planning and reckless development that has destroyed the neighborhood. And I'm glad that we have met with the DEP. Because if there is something that is worthy of a $450 million investment, it is our sewer system right here in this neighborhood. We will, and there is some monies for that. But understand something, folks. And understand, please, that when you say you want to build a sense of community, when you say you want to address people and build relationships, especially with elected officials, I represent this area too. I represent this area too. We work very well together. So communication has to be a two-way street. And so I'm going to close by saying that as chair of a committee that knows full well what we're going through here in this area, the last thing this area needs right now is a 40-story tower.
So this is both for the DEC and representatives. The first one is, the knowledge that the site has been contaminated by the former demolish manufacturer gas plant site has been known for years, and according to a somewhat recent Bailey's article, a 1,433-page study was produced in 2011 on the area. National Grid stated that if construction ever took place on the site, they would work to ensure safety for the people and construction workers on and near the site. Considering the newspaper article mentioned such pollutants as heavy metals, pesticides, quote, highly flammable chemicals and compounds that cause chronic breathing problems, according to the 2011 report, end quote, how does the DEC plan to protect the workers, residents, water table, and local environment from these dangerous materials? I'd also like to touch upon the fact that you mentioned that you care about the neighborhood that you grew up around here, around Brooklyn, and I think that is very important to acknowledge, and I think it's good that you know the area. But if you care so much, why would you force the people of this neighborhood to deal with years of construction, noise, smell, etc., to build a building that is not needed, and towers that will tower over, an A1 tower that will tower over the entire neighborhood? How will that affect the rest of us? Quite frankly, when it comes to upscale stores, again, maybe you should look at the fact that this is a lower to lower middle class area with many lines of fixed income, with many seniors. However, that real estate values do go up, as you mentioned, when the prices of our rent and air go up along with it. Also, there's a difference between building an area up and pushing it into people that need it out.
Time.
Okay. Never mind.
No, it was timing. Oh.
Hi. I just told Ty that I feel like the last guest at the wedding. All my questions were answered, but I would feel so much better, because this is sort of a David and Goliath thing. And you remember what David did, all right? So I would have felt much better if you brought me plans. If you said to me, Mrs. Cayley, this is where the stores are going to be. You know, everybody thinks that I have garlands I could have made. Show me where CVS is going to be. Show me that you're going to put a supermarket in. Show me that you're going to make, as long as you're going to make things tougher for us, show me that you're going to make it easy for us in certain respects. All right? Now that we've talked about that, every one of my questions were answered. I want to talk about my horse in the race, because I have a horse in the race. I'm an ex-board member of Trump Village Section 4. I served for 39 years. I'm the longest serving board member ever, okay? And I served under the HCR, okay, and lived. When we opened up, Fred Trump and Trump Organization got from us an easement. That back driveway between Building 6 parking lot and the shopping center is our property. We gave Fred an easement. We had to give him an easement because the court said we did. Now, I'm not sure if that easement was transferable. I do know an easement belongs still to us. You can't build on it. What are you going to do with it? It's going to give us a buffer zone. Or you're going to come to us and buy it. You guys have to know, you said you bought all that property. You had the assessment, whatever it is. They have the plans. You had to know that there was an easement on that whole area. It's about 12 feet, plus the whole end for the shopping center.
Time. Wait, she's important.
So let me know, please. Well,
This is important.
because it's worth like a lot of millions.
It's time. No, her question is very important. Her question is not just bullshit.
No, I understand. I just want her to like wrap it up.
Yeah, can you answer? Is he going to answer?
He's doing research. Boy, this kid's...
All right, now we can wrap it up until he answers.
I just want to, my question, you mentioned the CVS. Sir? Yeah, you mentioned CVS going into the Walgreens. They're closing. When you as many businesses throughout the city of New York have come to realize is sometimes the real estate value of their land or their lease is worth more than their business. That's what Walgreens decided on a corporate level, that they were not making sufficient funds to continue in existence and actually wanted to take a buyout of their lease. That was a decision that they made. With respect to CVS, we had a meeting today, and there is nothing concrete to report about what they want to do or what they intend to do. The previous woman who came up here said that she would have liked if we had specifically come here with specific plans as to which store, where, when, and how. And I've heard that, and I know that, and I sympathize with that. However, we were asked by the councilman to meet with the community as soon as possible. All of those things that you want answers to, that people want answers to, are just not answerable yet. And I can't answer all of those questions because we don't have answers to every one of those questions.
How do you make
We came here tonight to let you know the existing state of facts, to listen to the community, to listen to your concerns, to explain what we are proposing to do. And as we indicated, we will continue to meet
with the council on these issues. So I can't provide answers to questions I don't have. If I was 6 months down the road, then I might have more answers. But if I'm 6 months down the road and I met you and came here tonight, then everyone would scream, how come we didn't come sooner?
Thank you, and let me be fair. I'm glad you agreed. I mean, that your answers are not precise, or you might not have those answers. But I did twist the arms of the developers and ask them and urge them that they must come out and bring us whatever they do have on these proposed things. I am guilty of that because we need to know what is going on in our community. So I am guilty of that. We will have talks. I am going to continue speaking to people in our community. I will continue to speak with developers, with my colleagues in government, to make sure that you guys do the right thing and come back here once you have more and better answers, and you don't leave us in the dry. So, like I said before, I'm holding you accountable. I'm holding the EC accountable for what is happening right here in our community.
Just two more quick questions. One, yes, one more quick question. With the bus route, how will they pay for it? And the other question, these plans on the computer that people can look at.
Right now, the question is about the buses, so that's something that is an MTA question. And the other question was if these plans will be on the web or computer.
Well, eventually, when there are full filings with the Department of Buildings, those filings are subject to public scrutiny and public access. So there will be all of those filings that you can access.
All right, we still have quite a bit to go, so I'm asking everyone to please stick to the questions. If you have new questions, please come up when I call your name. Otherwise, if your question was answered or wasn't answered, we will follow up with that. Sergio Tiharni, Minnie Ankita, A.M. Goodrich, Ali Sinar, Sarah Gilmore, Stephen Stone.
My question is about Canopy, I guess, Corporation. What is your vision, since you own so much property in this local community? What is your vision for the community? You seem to have a demographic of people that you want to occupy this building. How are you going to be shaping the community in the future?
Well, as I stated previously, we have very, very large real estate holdings in the entire neighborhood. Unlike many owners of real estate that sell to REITs, unlike many owners of real estate that flip buildings, Canady's International holds onto its buildings, rarely sells buildings, and is constantly improving and pouring money into those buildings to improve all of them. We have poured tremendous amounts of money into Trump Village 1 and 2. We recently redid all of the elevators in those buildings. Our goal, our hope, is that we will have development that will attract some of the children who move away from the area because there's nothing really for them to live in. Our hope is that we will, to some extent, revitalize the neighborhood. When I say revitalize, I mean to put new energy into the neighborhood and new people into the neighborhood. We are long-term holders. We don't ever sell, very, very rarely do we sell properties. As I indicated, it's a family-owned business. They live in Brooklyn. They go to school in Brooklyn. Their children go to school in Brooklyn. They support the community in Brooklyn. And the goal is to continue to do that well into the future.
I thank you.
My name is Charlie from Village. My question to you is regarding the parking lot. When you start the project, what are we going to do for parking, for duration? How long is the duration of the building? About 2-3 years, I say. Yeah. Okay. Now, the question is, summertime is a very busy time of the day. We have people coming from all over. Coney Island, we have family members visiting us, friends, and we all utilize the parking lot. Maybe if I can find a spot on the street, I park overnight at a parking lot at the price of about $5 a night. Now, when you do finish the project, how much is that parking lot going to cost us as far as parking? It's 50 cents for 2 hours now. What are you going to charge us?
45 cents. 45 cents.
We, at this point in time, I cannot answer those questions as to what parking is going to cost. We're not even close to that yet.
It's gonna be high anyway.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Sarah Simbel. I've been living in this community for a very, very long time. I would like for you to please pay attention to your wonderful building right atop the train. I live in an area in Trump facing the train, and I needed to move from there because I wasn't able to talk and listen to even a television show. When someone called me, I had to close the window. So the environmental of this building, I don't know how you were able to close that noise for those people that are going to rent there. And who are you going to rent it exactly to? Because I know when developers build buildings, they leave parts of it some of it for the indigent, some of it for the homeless. That's how they build it. They're allowed to build. So how much of it is going to go to the homeless people? And why 40? Why not 20? Why ruin a beautiful skyline? Why 40? We were so shocked. I think we were sold out. I don't know at which point. I'm a social worker, by the way, and I'm so angry. Because since when did this commercial place that I thought I moved into become a residential area? Who sold us out on this? I was so shocked when I heard about a residence coming up. Yes, we do need a commercial area. I would love, a tree grove in Brooklyn, not a high-riser. I would like to see a Trader Joe. I know so many of my people, so many of my Russian people, we travel all across to Court Street, to the Trader Joe's here to buy some green groceries. I would like to see a Trader Joe right there. It would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank Ty George for bringing us the attention. My name is Liam Goodrich, and I represent Ten Power, with the AKA the year for the tenants and the homeowners. So, just my comment question before that. It's all about rezoning. They wipe out 4th Avenue, downtown Brooklyn. my question is, will you gentrify the neighborhood if you gonna get priced out of Brooklyn? Is this the way you do it?
You're gonna gentrify.
Will you ever try to gentrify Southern Brooklyn? Is this the way you want to get these people to price it out of Southern Brooklyn? And if you do, then why?
Listen, the school is closing at 9:30. Okay, I still have like 30 cars here. So you have a choice either to come up here and take your card and fill out your questions in the back. This way we can follow up on it. So I'm going to pull up the rest of the cards, the names and the rest of the cards. But please, you got to, if you come up here, you got to keep it very short because we have 10 more minutes. Edward Merrill, Susan Arnold, Alan Rush, Joanne Eisman, Edward Eisman, Carol Fisher.
I just wanted to make it nice, okay? You said you wanted to do something good for the neighborhood, to freedom and legacy for the developers, right? To improve on the neighborhood and do some good in the neighborhood. So why don't you just build a nice shopping plaza, 3-level, 4-level blocks with a roof garden, with many more stores, restaurants, coffee shop, movie theater, something that the neighborhood needs, instead of, putting additional apartment.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, this is a question for Councilman Deutsch. It's pretty obvious there's 3 shopping centers, and this was unlike other places in Brooklyn planned. And it was designed in a way so that you have sight lines and you have population control that's comfortable. So my question to yourself is, during these meetings, it seems like it's almost a foregone conclusion that the applications are approved, but obviously there's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of people in the community that are against it. I would say almost everybody here. And I think the turnover is much bigger than as developers expected. So would you be able to make that argument in these future council meetings? This is not like the rest of the area. It just doesn't fit. I mean, it's pretty obvious from that photo. And there's 2 other shopping centers, and it just doesn't fit. It wasn't designed that way. It wasn't meant to be. It just doesn't, just look at the aerial maps. It's just not meant to be.
Thank you very much, and I agree with you. I do have many developments throughout my district that I am fighting right now. I feel like sometimes I work for the buildings department, and I should be working for the constituents. So I arranged this meeting. I make sure there's buses for the seniors. I make sure the developers can come out, and they come out sooner than later, and they don't have information that we all want. I want to hear, and you want to hear, but we will hold them accountable for it. And I'm sure that we're going to try to work with my colleagues and make sure that we have the resources here. But we have a long road ahead of us, and we need to work together. So I appreciate that, and yes, I am very involved with the things that are going on in my district. And I think sometimes people probably are involved too much, and that's why I'm here tonight with several hundred people. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Hello. I moved to Warbeck in 1964 as a very small child, and I now care for an elderly relative who still lives here. I don't live within this area anymore, but it's very dear to my heart, and it's very important to me. I want to know, number one, the existing businesses that are there, not just Walgreens, which we now know is history, not just CVS, but I'm just curious, the small guys like Bravo's Pizza, who's been here since the 70s, it seems that you're going to come in and double, triple their rent, and that's why they can't stay. But you're saying that's premature and you can't discuss that now. So I'm a little confused about that. Also, it seems to me like you smell money here because of the fact that there's a coming on revitalization and maybe the revitalization of Brooklyn in general. But our neighborhood, as it's been said so many times, is filled with senior citizens and people on fixed incomes. So for you to brag about the upscale shopping is really a slap in the face to those people because they can't afford it. And if you want to address that, I appreciate it.
I believe I already addressed that, and what I said was to a previous person that there will be in the new development neighborhood stores. Many of the stores that have decided to leave have asked us for rights of first refusal. I'm not going to go into the specifics of which ones, because frankly it's somewhat confidential. But many of the stores have asked us for rights of first refusal to move into the existing development. And we, to a large extent, have agreed that they can. So there will be a neighborhood mix of stores. We're also looking to bring in a Trader Joe's that somebody mentioned, which we're looking to do, to provide services that everyone would think products that everyone really likes in the community. So I've already answered that.
You said upscale stores used to be on the front.
Well, if I misspoke that it was going to be limited to upscale stores, I apologize. That is certainly not what I meant to say. If that's what you heard, I apologize. There will be a healthy mix of neighborhood stores there.
Thank you. Paul Belstein, Martin Shostak, Maya Geist, Katie Moldowski, Rabbi Griffin, Jerry Foreman, Henrietta Hawk, Sharon Brody, Susan Bernstone, Victoria Zelaznayak, Mr. Pepper, Regina, Steve Harrison, Leanne Rowe, Sam Gronowski, Ina Krabatsky.
My name is Maya Geist. My question is actually to you, Councilman. If you remember a couple of years ago, there was supposed to be a development in Seabreeze Park that was going to be a stadium. It was proposed by Marty Hartman, and it was blocked effectively by the synagogue exercising their rights to sound. Is there any legal way for the city or maybe the post office can exercise some type of right of not moving, or some legal way of blocking this entire development?
That is a very good question, and this is something that we're going to look into to see what can be done. I don't want to use the words as of right, because it's constantly used, but we have to see what we can do, but most importantly, we have to deal with issues of, first of all, to bring out the proposed development is very important, because now we have a nice lot, we had a something in a nice front, but we need the community to be there behind us. Thank you very much. You have one more question for me. I only give my wife one question.
The question is for the developer. I grew up in this neighborhood, I bought an apartment in Trunk Village. If my family wasn't around here, now that I have a kid, I would not stay in this neighborhood as much as I adore Coney Island. Do you honestly think that a new mix of people who you're trying to put in the 40-story building, are you possibly going to rent it all out? There's no way that somebody wants to live by train in our neighborhood, in the senior community, unless they have family members there or some kind of a connection to the community. New people are usually not coming in to rent in our neighborhood. Why do you think that a 40-story rental isn't viable? It actually makes no sense at all. But I would love for you to redo the shopping center and make it more nice, more options, but no residential 40-story tower. It's a ridiculous proposal.
I wish I had the vision of a lot of owners and residential real estate people throughout the city. I will tell you that I never thought Greenpoint, Brooklyn would be as popular as it is. I never thought Williamsburg would be as popular as it is. I never thought Long Island City would be as popular as it is. And these are all communities. I never thought many areas of the Bronx would have the revitalization that they are having. It is our hope and it is our vision that this area will